morning, good evening, good afternoon, lads, ladies, pirates, players, real people behind the profile stats. I'm trying to put in the Mickey Mouse mic so we can become the ones to get to know the unique rebel and put in efforts. Not into the gameplay enjoyments, but into understanding who the real unique rebel is. Basically, my grandpa came over to the country of England in the late 1950s, 1960s, and then he decided to go by road back to the Himalayas by road from England. And then my father came back over with him. On the way back, the car broke down in Turkey because he was part of the army, you see. That's how he was able to come over to England, because he was part of the army. And he was the best at what he did and what he does at that time. And then over time, I was born in the late 1970s. And I didn't do well at school. Typically, not knowing any decent direction, wasn't really guided well because of a lot of complications. And I kind of felt I messed up at school, and then I went to college, and then I retook my GCSE maths. A year earlier, I got an E, but when I retook it, I got a C, so I jumped up 2 grades. I done a BTEC first in electronic engineering in college. I got 2 distinctions, 3 merits, 4 passes, despite running away from home or getting kicked out of home or whatever you want to call it. And I still managed to do really well. And then I felt quite pressured, because I was one of a kind at times, so I was like part of a minority. So I felt like I was pushed out, whether it was direct or indirect, whether it was apparent or whether it was hidden racism or whatever you want to call it at the time. Most of my life, I've always had people against me, I feel. So it wasn't anything new. It was just the way life was for some. You have to learn to accept. And all my life, I've had jobs on and off, and I haven't really managed to keep hold of one for long enough. I feel I haven't kept one for long enough, but I'm free to move anywhere in the world. I can adapt and adjust to anywhere. One of the greatest accomplishments of my real life is my children, and nothing really means more than that. Gotta hold it together. And one of the greatest accomplishments of this game that I played is I found players across the game who I can speak to, whether they're people coming back to the game or whether they're new players. Recently, one of my friends, good friend, great friend, nice person, decent person, Lunatic 100, one of the leaderboards. For me, that's an accomplishment, you know. I won't say similar to having my son in real life, but kind of like on that kind of level, but in gameplay reality, you know. Very pleasant, you know, not just a surprise, but just to experience it, to be around to see it. I found that the balance in the real life is similar to what we don't have in the game. It's the same thing, it's just a form of neglect, where the game we play is all about having enough money and to enjoy the game, to have the gems, to play the game. Even to be in debt sometimes, having to pay back and not being able to pay. Same with real life, having to pay and owing people money. But at the end of the day, I feel as if there's a growth in this game that hasn't been plundered yet, and I can quite clearly see it, but people will never see it. I can see the percentage as they grow, even after 9 years of playing it, 8 years of playing it. I missed a year and a half out, probably 7.5 years of playing it. But I played day and night, so that's got to count for something, you know. So it's like there's so much more to plunder in this game, and I just don't see why people would want to leave it. And there's so much more developers can actually do, even to make it small adjustments. There's so much that they can do. I could give you so many examples and ideas. This video could be just full of ideas and examples, but I feel as if we can leave that for another time, because this video is designed just for you to get to know me, to get to know who the real Runic Rebel is. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I just had a dream, and exactly what I'm speaking about right now is exactly what I was speaking about in my dream. There's always gonna be a fine line between God's work and the devil's work, and I like to not keep a connection with both, but to give a mix of a feel of an idea of an approach of things that I just want to unlock in my life and in my spiritual being, and just so that I can say, look, I experienced everything. I've been through it all, so I'm in a position where I can speak about it. I feel as if I could speak to anybody at any level, any point, any time. I was one of those quiet people that would never be able to, never speak to anybody. I was very, very quiet. But then I found myself that once I start to speak, I can't stop speaking. I'm the kind of person I could sit with any person on this planet, and I could talk to you and adjust myself at such a point where I could speak to you and help, not just you, but help your understanding and your approach to such a level that you could never have expected or thought of even achieving ideas of ways of doing things. I could speak at any level for my foes or even for my friends. That's the kind of level that I'm at. And I'm quite enjoying the person that I am. And I just wanted to share with you guys the fact that I'm available to be at any point, any place, any time. I'm just waiting for my big break, really. That's all it's going to really take. And once it happens, there's no stopping it. There's no stopping your rise. There's no stopping my rise. There's no hidden agendas. I'm an open book. I wear myself on my sleeve. Anyway, so allow me to go. As I wish you all well, wherever you may be, keep smiling, keep shining, keep rising. Try your own gameplay enjoyment as you continue or begin to evolve. But more importantly, the real life, and that's the one. Number one, my private subscribers. And number one, my busy. That's the one. Look, that's the one. Look. Say the GOAT. GOAT. Greatest of all time. That's the one. You know what time it is. If you hear my voice, echo, echo, echo. Be assured, I'd always be there for you. And all those that be worthy, could ever do potash. That's the one.